In the electrical sector, they have a golden rule. Energy produced must always be equal to the energy consumed. If too little energy is produced, people won't have sufficient energy to light up their houses. And if too much energy is produced, then the whole system could fail, and this could lead to a lot of damage to the infrastructure. The consequences of this are amazing. Every time someone turns on his TV, somewhere else someone has had to start producing the exact energy needed in advance. How is this done? When we have too much electricity, Carlos Pagan. At first, it may not seem that difficult. Just stop burning fuel whenever you don't need it. However, this is a problem when using renewable energies. In Spain, around 50% of the electricity we use comes from renewable sources, such as wind farms and solar parks. This is very good regarding the pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. It is also much cheaper, as Spain doesn't have to depend on other countries that sell us fossil fuels. However, unlike carbon or natural gas, we just cannot control the weather, on which renewable sources fully depend. How can we solve this? The first difficulty we could face is that someday, on a very sunny or windy day, too much energy is produced. Remember the golden rule. Energy produced must always be equal to the energy consumed. Obviously, you don't want to just turn off the solar panels and the wind turbines. After all, by doing that, you would be just throwing away a lot of energy that could be used. The first solution that comes up to everyone's mind is usually the following. Just store the energy for when you require it. In fact, many scientists had already thought of this idea before. Everyone knows what a dam is. They are big barriers constructed to hold water and raise its level, forming a reservoir that can be used to generate electricity or as a water supply. Nowadays, this concept has been taken further. In places like Canary Islands or Zamora, the Spanish electricity network is building reversible dams that work like huge batteries where energy can be stored. As normal dams, whenever energy is needed, they can let water pass by, and, by that process, use the weight and movement of the water to produce electricity. Additionally, these reversible dams can also fill up themselves with water from a lower lake. This allows them to temporarily store the energy that isn't used at the moment. Even so, this solution would only work in places where demand equals supply in the long run. But what happens in places where too much or too little energy is always generated? Then, you may want to move electricity from one place to another. The obvious answer is to connect them with cables. That way, if it's very sunny in Seville and they have too much electricity, they could send it to Madrid, where they could need it. However, this becomes a problem in places like the Canary Islands, where connecting them by cables is too difficult due to the depth of the ocean floor in that area. What is the solution then? Scientists are now working on ways to store energy in non-polluting ways so that you can send it to other places. Most of them are researching in the area of chemical storage. Some examples are salt batteries, which use their chemical structure to store potential energy, or hydrogen batteries, which interest me the most. The hydrogen in these batteries comes from the division of water, H2O, in its components, hydrogen and oxygen. Later, when you require energy, you could burn the hydrogen with the oxygen, producing energy and only water as a waste product. As you can see, managing the electric system isn't as easy as you may think at first. Its difficulty increases even more when you take renewable energies into account. I hope that from now on, every time you push that button that lightens up your room, you remember all the hard work that has been done behind. We should really thank all those people who are really working hard for our needs, and also their concern in reducing greenhouse gas emissions.